guys, Rob here. Today I want to talk about a proper bike fit and all the things that go into it. Probably one of the first treats you can do for yourself when thinking about purchasing a triathlon or a time trial bike is having a proper bike fit to help you find the right size bike. One of the things I did was actually go to a local bike shop and get a proper bike fit before purchasing a bicycle. And what that allowed the bike shop to then do is to give me a printed out list of the different brands and which size bikes would be proper fits for me. It's important to have that information because bikes will change in terms of the brands, how they report their sizing. Some will use t-shirt sizing like small, medium, large, large. Others will go with centimeters. For example, my road bike actually is a medium large. It's a Ventum bicycle. However, my triathlon or time trial bicycle is a Cervelo, and it goes in the centimeters system for sizing. So just wanted to go over some basics when thinking about either getting a bike fit or looking at a bicycle to try to figure out or optimize your bike position. So this here is my bicycle, my Cervelo P2 bicycle with Shimano 105 gearing. It's on my smart trainer right now, but basic things you want to think about when looking at a bicycle for comfort. One is the seat post here and its relation to how tall it is down to the pedals here. Also, when looking at a bicycle, you can see here that the Cervelo is nice in that you can actually slide the mounting bracket for the seat forward or further back, and then within that you can then adjust the actual rails. Another portion of the bike frame that you need to think about is the top tube. That's the reach. And so these two measurements are very important when it comes to proper bike fitting. The other here is going to be your stack height, which is here. And I have all these spacers in mind. Again, with my back, I need to keep my stack fairly high here. Now, there's other things you can do to make your bicycle comfortable after you've now had the proper dimensions between your seat post and your top tube and your stack height figured out. One of them is the saddle itself. It's one of 3 contact points. This saddle here is a split nose saddle. It is a shortened saddle, so normal saddle would come a little further out here, but this allows you, when you're in the aerodynamic position a little bit more forward, seated on the bike, to kind of rotate your hips over, and your sit bones are here on the front, and this space here allows the perineum, the space in your nether regions here, to allow blood flow so you don't have any numbing or any discomfort. This here is actually a firm saddle, and it's quite comfortable for me. I actually have this saddle on my 2 road bikes as well as this time trial bicycle. So again, one of 3 contact points being your seat or your saddle, making sure that you have a comfortable saddle. There are different brands and styles. I found that this one's the most comfortable for me, which is why I have it actually on all 3 of my bicycles. The next point of contact, if we're coming down on the bicycle, is down off the pedals where we keep our shoes. These are triathlon specific, the way the Velcro opens and closes. Inside of my shoes, I actually have specific inserts, also by Retool, which is the system I used for my bike fitting. These are actually made of a molded fiberglass, so it gives my arches a little bit more support and it's a little firmer. So when I'm pedaling and pushing through on my strokes, I'm not having any fatigue in the middle portion of my foot because it's more firm. You can find various kinds of shoe inserts, but I do recommend them. Supposedly they can give you a little bit more power in your stroke because you're not going to have as much wiggle in the middle of your foot, and there's a little less flex in the shoe itself. Initially, it felt like there was a golf ball kind of under my foot, but over time, you really appreciate it because you have less fatigue and achiness in the middle portion of your foot. And then lastly, as I mentioned earlier, is your stack height here. Mine's as high as it can go, but there's other options for you as well. You can have additional risers here. I don't have any additional stack height here. However, you could raise this up higher to give you more comfort. But I'm pretty close to almost being even between my saddle and my elbow pads, which comes to my next point on the bicycle, my elbow pads. Over time, these will wear down. This is actually my second set of elbow pads. The first were the profile that came with the bicycle. These I had purchased online. These are CG. They're extremely comfortable. They have not worn down. I had these on a road bicycle, and so I purchased these for my triathlon bicycle here. So having comfort in the elbows, so if you're doing long rides, you don't develop any numbness in your arms, is quite important. And the last thing to think about here is your base bar, which is this portion of your front part of your handlebar system. The base bar here, this is actually a little bit too narrow, a base bar. This is a replacement one because I crashed this bike before and needed a new base bar, and I thought, hey, why don't I get a 40 centimeter wide one so I'm more tucked in and in the aero position. However, I need to keep right now my arm cups pretty far out in terms of their spacing so it doesn't pinch and put more fatigue and strain on my shoulders. So as much as I want to kind of be tucked in a sort of a V shape with my arms, it's not so comfortable for me. So I have to keep it so I'm comfortable and can stay down in the aero position for long periods of time. As such, when I'm trying to get onto the front, if I'm trying to, say, apply the brake, you can see here I'm getting some rub between my wrist and the arm cups, which over time leaves marks on my wrists. So solution, a little gift to myself to help with motivation during the quarantine, is a new aluminum base bar. Same shape and design. This is the widest that's made, which is 44 centimeters. And that 4 extra centimeters, 2 extra centimeters on each side, which is close to an inch, should give me just enough room to be able to go ahead and apply the brakes when I need to without rubbing my wrists on the arm cups. So again, just a general review in terms of bike comfort. I highly recommend, if you can, to get a bike fit at a bike shop, and they can help you then find the right bicycle to help you find the right reach. So based on the top tube, then as well as they can help adjust your seat post and your stack height. And then again, for further comfort, once you have your bicycle in play, is to think about the type of saddle that you're using, the type of potential inserts that you may have in your shoes, and then again, if you need any risers here for your arm cups, as well as the padding that you have in the arm cups. So I know there's a lot of information. I hope you found it helpful, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Take care. Bye now.